Why, hello there. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. Happy holidays, everyone. Hopefully you've had a great week and a great month. Good to see you here. Calvin Bulwark. Hello, how are you doing? Good morning. Penny, Umacorn, Marsha. Yeah, welcome, General Kenobi. Everybody here. Frank, good to see you. We're going to dive into sort of summer to winter composites, changing the seasons, as if we're just some magician. Like Santa is kind of a magician if you're into Santa and that sort of thing. But anyways, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm glad you're here. And yes, good morning to you, Bobby Orlando, Sean, and everyone. And if you're joining me elsewhere, feel free to say hi as well. Let's get this party started. All right. And yeah, let's just kind of do this. I have a little bit of a rendering issue with my my video card lately, but that's okay. And let me fix one more thing too. All right, let's get it back in. Here we are. Cool. All right, let's make the world a beautiful place, shall we? Or a cold and unforgiving place. How about that? I'm sure you know what I'm about to do. Steve, good to see you, buddy. Yeah. You know, summer to winter, we can make this really easy on ourselves, right? Taking something like this. I might actually want to maybe even get rid of this road is kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to turn this into a smart object. So this is a landscape. All right, that's the image we're dealing with right there. And you can imagine what I'm going to do. Loving the sweater. Thank you so much. You're too kind. Hopefully this is framing my head. There we go. Ooh, ooh. Magic camera. Okay, so with this image, you know, I could try to do adjustment layers and such is life. You know, hue and saturation, maybe amping up the blues, right? And taking down the greens, things like that is what you'd try to make this a winter scene, not successfully, right? You know, basically, like, how do you, and first off, why is nothing really changing here? Oh, there we go. This one, master. There we go. So anyways, we want to like make this look cold, right? It's a whole ordeal. I'm just playing with the hue and saturation adjustment layers, right? Which we still might use. If we wanted to make this an alien landscape, yeah, sure, that works. That's actually kind of cool. But I'm going to go ahead and just do something a little bit different, if you don't mind, and get into the neural filters, because you know I'm going to do that anyways. This is, oh, Ryan, you're making me so jealous. That's Louisiana weather in the wintertime. And all the, why is my camera like freaking out on me? Let's make sure we just turn this off. There we go. Cool. So let's take this, we'll go to filter, right up here, the very top, neural filters, selecting that. And we can jump in here and do a landscape mixer under these creative ones if we want to, right? We have harmonization. But ultimately, I'm going to use landscape mixer, and then we can get into some of the other ones. So let's just try this. We'll take landscape mixer, not having any reference that we're selecting up here. We'll just drag this clear down to winter. And again, I don't know if anybody's done this week, by the way, because it's like holiday week at Adobe, Adobe Live. But look what it does. So we have our before and then our after, you know? If you're not amazed, check your pulse. Just check your pulse. Like, look at how awesome that is. Done. Okay. Still might want to mix some of these, by the way. Actually, let's see what happens if we do contrasting filters. So cranking up summer and winter. What it kind of does is just throws a little bit more light on it. But either way, let's actually crank up night. So I'm just playing this with this, obviously. But really our best bet is to use this winter, cranking that up the whole way, and then we'll export this out as a smart filter. Done. Super easy. And I'm done. Good night, everybody. Just kidding. Of course, I got more work to do. South Texas, hot, cold, give you a cold. Whole Denver is, it's been so cold here lately, but I know there's also been like, I think tornadoes and some other extreme weather in other places. Welcome to global warming. But yeah, it's just been cold here in Denver. Not really any snow either. So anytime we create that, we're going to have these neural filters right in here. I'm going to double click on that because we could actually go back into this. And this time I'm just going to let this render. Let's give it a second, bring it back to life, and we'll just select this scene up at the top. Selecting that scene, it actually matches that scene and takes lots of elements from this scene and applies it to my photo, which in my opinion actually looks better. We'll go ahead and select this one. More mountainous. Geez, you blink and you miss it. So yeah, super cool. I'll go with that. Click OK. Done. So let's take a look at something a little bit more advanced. You guys already probably know about, some of these landscape mixer tools. Oh, lovely and warm in New Zealand. Oh, Steve, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of you. Let's go ahead and go into neural filters again. This time we have a subject matter. Which is awesome because we can select that same scene like we were doing, right? It's going to be that winter scene. And that's what happens. If you sit on the edge of a precipice, as you look out, you're just going to end up freezing to death. So maybe don't do that. We'll crank up the winter in here. Now you're really frozen. But it's all about coming down here and checking this little checkbox right here, preserve subject. We'll check that box. We'll see how it does. I haven't done it with this image yet, right? So we're learning together. Oh no, there's an error going on here. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it preserved the subject, preserved this whole part. That's interesting. Let's harmonize the subject now. Clicking there. Oh, it looks like it's throwing me a little bit of an error. Harmonize subject. But nonetheless, you can see what it does. It actually does preserve the subject, and then you can make your edits. Usually harmonize would work. Since it doesn't, we can go ahead and work around that. We'll click OK. Here's our image. Let's do a Command J. Let's just delete that smart filter altogether. Let's call this guy on cliff. And we will harmonize this. So maybe what I will do, let's do a couple things. I need to fix this. So let's take care of it. Oh man, Barbara, where do you live? It's 37 degrees now, and it's getting up to 50 later. Sorry if I missed that. It is it's probably like 30 degrees here in Denver too. But I want to do some more fun things. Not that this isn't fun. It is 23 degrees here today. Hopefully get up to a high of 36 in Denver. Man, it's never this cold. All right, so you get an idea of what you could do with neural filters. So cool, great. We have landscape mixer and we have harmonization. Harmonization will match one layer to another layer. So both of these two things, even though it's taking a while to load, are really going to be part of my arsenal when it comes to compositing, right? Because I have other images in here as well. So let's kind of move on. Let's hit, there we go. We have our landscapes. We have this guy. We got this cool landscape, which I'm into, but let's go ahead and take some of these other additional characters, like these reindeer. Take those layers, drag them in there, drag them in there, drag them in there, drag them in there, just like that. There we go, done. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. There we go. That's one way to composite all these layers together. There are other ways. But here is everything. So let's get down to work and let's just make it fun, sort of summer to winter. I kind of wanted to do something in like a snow globe, so to have it look like it's summertime outside, but in the snow globe is the exact same scene, but it's a wintertime sort of situation. Or we could do the reverse of that. So, you know, because sometimes, I mean, honestly, I'm looking at it, it's like going to be a high of 35? No. Like I'm thinking of Steve right now, who lives in New Zealand and has the pleasure of just having beautiful weather, right? So we could do the reverse of that and make it sunny on the inside and winter on the outside. So those are our options, right? We got a number of assets we can work with. I thought it'd be cool to have like, we could take this this reindeer kind of like sniffing at the snow globe or something that has this magical land in it. I don't know, maybe a kid's picking it up, right? These are just ideas that we're working with, right? This one right here could work pretty well. So let's just do that. Let's grab some of these assets. Let's have some fun. I'm glad you guys are here today. We got a full day of live streams and all that good stuff. Right in here, this is white. Let's try this. Let's just try remove background on this. So that's what I will do a lot of. Remove background to see what happens. Not quite. Kind of destroys, gets rid of the antlers. So, you know. I don't know how you guys do this. Do you go magic wand? Do you know how long the magic wand tool's been around? Since before there was magic, there's been the magic wand tool. No, but for a long time. I don't know how long, to be honest. But I don't know. Somebody could tell me, that'd be awesome. But probably, I don't know, within the first 3 versions of Photoshop. So, you know, we're talking easily 30 years. All right, so what happens a lot of time is it'll end up selecting the inside right here. We like this little contiguous is how you say it, contiguous button right there that we're going to select. So it's only going to select the sort of outside portion and won't get the inside, but then I'll just go through and click. I get it. Some of you have other ways. I know you might be thinking the color range might be another way, but that's color range is still going to end up selecting the white right in here. So that's why I'm using the magic wand. Some people call it the tragic wand. I get, oh, I see you, Jan. On cue, tragic wand. You know, friggin' any wand is tragic if you, I hate to say it, any wand is tragic. If you don't know how to use it, you know, yeah. You could hurt yourself with a lot of things, okay? It's the thing is like, it's like with the lasso tool. You might not think it's like the most exact tool ever. Like it could be your best friend or your worst nightmare, just depending on how you use it. But yes, I know the tragic wand. I feel sorry for the tragic wand, but that's just me. I'm like, oh, what did he do to you? You know, right here, look what it did. It did an amazing job. You're gonna hate on the magic wand? It's man. If you're around when it first was in Photoshop, it was mind blowing. It's amazing. So, anyways, not to pick on you at all, by the way, Jan. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right, so this is our reindeer. But it's funny that we were both thinking the same thing. That's funny. We'll convert this to a smart object. Actually, before I do that, let's go into selected mask. Selected mask gives us a better idea of all this crazy haloing that's happening, right? We could use our refine edge, go in there, you get it. Stuff we wouldn't catch since it's already on white. So that's going to help us out a lot, but we still want to like clean it up, okay? You guys are probably all too familiar with this. Let's go around. It's funny, as soon as you let up on your mouse, that's when you see it like take effect, if you will. So I'll usually do this and then I'll actually choke it a little bit. Oh, I'm not going to choke the reindeer. Don't be so dark. We want to, I usually shift the edge is what I will typically do. I might need some of this later, by the way. These could be some nice shadows. Actually, no, probably these hooves will be in snow. So, just so you know, just snow what I mean. Snow what I mean. There we go. There's the pun. Snow what I mean. All right. Looking pretty good. Let's take a look up here. What's going on? What's up here? Oh, that's just some awesome highlights. We could try shifting the edge just a touch. Let's say 13%. It's just going to choke it. It should choke it. See? Oh, yeah. See what it's doing? You know, that's a little much, but yeah, it's actually working. Even if I go up to like 30%, it's still like doing a great job. Clicking OK. There it is. And let's make this a smart object. There's our reindeer. Thank you for this, Daniel. Know what I'm saying? Megan. Cheers to Megan. And puns. And just wordplay. Speaking of wordplay, I've been getting into Wordle and the New York Times crossword puzzle mini like lately. And it's so much fun to do the daily crossword puzzle and Wordle. And, you know, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not much for the words. You know, I went to art school and all this stuff. So it's like, you know, everything I do is visual. So it's fun kind of stretching your brain in these new areas. Okay, now that we have this, now I can kind of jump into harmonization because we have that landscape. We have our reindeer. We'll go to filter, into neural filters. And then harmonization. We'll turn that on. Nothing happens because we haven't selected a layer yet. So let's select that layer. There it is, landscape. See what happens. Again, I'm new to this. I haven't used it on this image. I don't know if you guys can tell. You probably can tell. But, you know, I like working on things live. That's what Adobe Live is like working on this stuff live. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so before and then after adds that tint. We could crank the strength all the way up. And if we still think it's maybe a little bit too blue, we can take down the blues. Oh, no, sorry. Let's bring up the blues. Bring up the cyan, you know, and just make it look even cooler. But we don't want to make him look like he's frozen, like he's dead. So I kind of liked where those levels were at. Maybe even the strength of this was probably pretty good. It's like we need to, you know, we still need to make this reindeer look like it's alive. All right, smart filter, in effect, click OK, and done. Right. Good. Got it. Okay, this is one thing. The cloud is looking weird. I haven't worked on the composite, but good call, Marcia. That's why I love that you're here. It's very weird, especially if I put it like right there. That's kind of a weird. Maybe not have that positioning for this this reindeer. I don't know. Is that a cloud, or is somebody making some middle school joke? I don't know. All right, let's move that back. It is kind of funny though. All right. Okay, let's Take a look. This is one thing that that I don't get. Like, why does it make this layer mask when I created a smart filter from neural filters? Right? Why does it do it? I'm going to delete the filter mask. Right? There's just like, I can't figure out. There's no reason for it. Because if you actually have it on and you go Command T to adjust it, you're actually, it's not linked to the layer above. So all that to say, just go in here, wait for it, and delete that layer mask. There's no reason for it, as far as I can tell. Wait for it. My laptop's thinking. We're working on a 2019. It's like what? It's almost 2023. There we go. Delete ooh. Hold on. Something is a brewing. Anyway, so we have that done. Done. Let's just delete. There we go. Delete filter mask. Done. Now I could resize this and all that stuff, and everything is good. It better stick with it. You better stick with it. Sometimes the filters will shut off as you do a transform and should kick back in once you've resized said element. All right. So we'll just wait for it. Land of Giant Elk. That's right. Oh, it is on the struggle bus. And I don't know why. Okay, but it's at the right size now, roughly. Lots of compositing still needs to happen. Let's move on along. We got this thing. Here's our snow globe. There it is. We could take a lot of these elements. Like, my sizing might be all off. Like, look at all this stuff. Let's move that up. Don't even need him anymore. These are the assets that I want to use. Let's center them. Let's move everything over. Let's do a reveal all. So anytime I start compositing all these layers, I don't want to crop this just yet. I don't want to hurt any pixels. You know, I'd like to say that no pixels were harmed in the making of this, but we'll find out in a second. But it does have to render out those smart filters too. Man, everything is moving so slow. What is the size of this, by the way? I like to, you know, basically work at full res. You know, whatever size my photos are at, I'll just keep them at that size. There we go. Right, so it's going to give me the most flexibility. Here we have this. This is going to be maybe a little bit complex too. Let's just see what happens. Let's try object selection tool, rectangle. Even though it should be automatically selecting it. This is getting really complex because it actually is not quite able to grab it. It got this part. That's pretty good. I'll actually just like add to it. So this is what I'll do. I will. All right. This is going to be the longest process you've ever seen in your life. But what I want to do is I want to actually create that circle. Hopefully it's a perfect circle. We're going to find out here in a second. Hold down the Option key and the Shift key. We can go ahead and constrain that to a perfect circle. Get it right there, right? Move it on over. Kind of like so. I still need to expand it a certain number of pixels, which also I don't know. So let's try expanding it. Select, modify, expand. 5 pixels? Yeah. 5 more pixels. That's pretty good. Move that over a little bit. How we doing? I just want that clean line. And this is going to get me there. 3 pixels. There we go. That works. We did it. Now, let's go back in here. Let's fill this with the foreground color. Click OK. And we're back to where we need to be. We'll protect everything by making a smart object, and we'll roll on our way. Ooh. Oh, Steve with the jokes. With more wordplay. The neurotic filters. Maybe I shouldn't have made this. Well, let's just go with it as is now. Because let's turn off everything. And we have our lovely landscape. And by the way, this crazy landscape. I'm just going to go ahead and rasterize these layers. Now, officially pixels were harmed in the making of this. How dare I? But let's take this, and we have 2 versions of it. I'd probably chop this in half. We got to do all this stuff. It's a whole thing. So let's just try to just... Take this portion. There we go. We want the invert of this. Let's see what happens if we... So Option drag, right? We'll duplicate it. We'll select this. We'll invert it. Command I. So now we have this in 2 separate pieces. Top piece, we can now start to play with the blend modes. Like if we wanted to get rid of all the lights and the darks, it's going to take a number of things, by the way. So like here keeps the darks. That might work. It's going to take multiple layers happening right in here. In fact, multiply might work out okay. So let's just try that. Multiply. Jump that layer. And let's go down into sort of the keeping the light pixels is what we're doing now. Lighten, screen, color dodge, all of these. Ooh, I love overlay. I always love overlay and soft light. So yeah, I'm all about it. Yeah, overlay is awesome. This is what I'll do. Just kind of roll down and check out all these. Maybe overlay. But let's actually go back to normal. Because what I'm realizing, I'm going to do Command L. When I do Command L, it's going to open up levels. Levels, when you do Command L, it actually just put the levels right on that layer, kind of hidden underneath, just so you know. Because I need to kind of adjust the contrast for this. Like that, like really crank it up, like really amping it up. But I like how it just affects this one layer and it's hidden right in there. In fact, another way to get to that is to go to Image Adjustments. I did Levels. So you can do the same for curves, hue, saturation, color balance, all of those. So keep that in mind. Everything doesn't have to be an adjustment layer. It could be an adjustment layer on the actual layer as opposed to being a separate layer itself. But it all depends on what you're going for. So now when we go into, say, lighten in the screen, look at how much more of a pop it has. Like, that's awesome, right? Just looks better. Even for multiply, I bet you multiply could use the same magic, maybe. Baby, let's do it. Zoop. You know, give me just the darks, kind of like that. You know, maybe I don't even need that, but we'll see. All right, but yeah, that's kind of what we're going for. And we need to do the same thing here. Base, smart object, filter, neural filters. Let's see what happens here. And if harmonization It's given us problems. There's other ways to match colors, basically the ways we used to do things. But here I'm matching that landscape, and it just gives it that brighter, sort of cooler tint on that red, and seems to work okay. So I'm into it. We'll click OK. We'll call that done. I want a wonderful winter wonderland needs to be in here. By the way, we could always change this. We could always manipulate this any way we want. Ultimately, we're going to have these sharp highlights, and we're going to get rid of a lot of this on the inside. But I do want to make it like the same landscape, just the summer version on the inside. I don't know. So we'll play with it. Let's save our file for once. Check the time. We got 30 minutes left. We're doing great. Oh, Daniel, I love it. Looks like a job for blend if luminance exclusion. Yeah, maybe. Let's do a jump layer, or duplicate it basically. Underlying layers. Split it. Give me some smoother transitions. Let's like split this one. Now we want to keep the whites. And I'm just seeing what this affects. But we are able to knock out some of that. It's just like affecting this underlying layer. And then we could change the blend mode. So we still can change it back to, say, even overlay. There we go. Hey, that works well. I like it. So we're able to get rid of like some of that transparency, sort of our before, which is great. So hats off to Daniel Human. Daniel, slow clap. Slow clap, my friend. I love it. And that's a good call. I think anytime you're gonna reach for, say, opacity, you know, it's a case where we're getting rid of all these highlights. That's not what we want. We want to get rid of these other parts. So I think doing a blend if will help you get rid of some of the transparency, but not all of it. So we could kind of bring that back. And again, we'll still play with this, and you guys get the idea. Okay, done. Done. Da-da. Bring it down. Whatever. You get the idea. Let's put a winter wonderland in there, shall we? Or a summer wonderland. Or something. Let's put something in there. Let's first increase this. This perspective is not quite perfect. But yeah, let's just take this. Rasterize it. Oop. We are just trying out some things. Brush X. I think. See what we got in here. Get rid of some of this. The bottom. Let's make this, bring down the transparency because I can't see a thing. We'll do you one better. Quick selection tool. Do you guys use the quick selection tool? Yeah, maybe not. You know, heck with it. Let's grab the fun stylus lasso tool. Anytime I want to use the lasso tool, it's going to be using the stylus. And I'm just going to rush through this. Grab that. Come back here. Bring it back. Fill with foreground. Okay. That works. There we are. Turn that on. There we are. It's kind of turning into a crystal ball, but we're just playing with our fun summer winter composite. Where's our reindeer? There you are, buddy. Oh, that's cool. So we need, what would be really fun is to have like, maybe, I don't know if we could develop a whole storyline around this. So let's take this deer, this reindeer. Yeah, you're gonna, no, let's not do that. Man, those neural filters just like did not like me today. How do we do this? How do we do this? Maybe this reindeer is a background element. Like, this position might be a little off. The size of things are a little bit off. But we could fix it. Of course we can. Right in here, we're going to adjust this reindeer. So we'll do a puppet warp. All right, here's puppet warp. Gives me show mesh. Let's turn that on. Gives me all of this lovely mesh that I can then start to add these points, start to pin down certain parts, but just so I could adjust this reindeer's head so it's looking more up like so. Right? So just adjusting that head so it's going to point more at this snow globe. And enabling me to get what I want, kind of. Right? So is it something like that? I need more elements though. I need like a gnome. So we're going to do some searches. Oh, that was the tab I needed. I got some brushes. Stock.adobe.com. Because I was going to make it snowfall. Make some snowfall there. By the way, even in your brush panel, we can jump out to all the brushes as well. So we'll get our brushes, we'll get our gnomes, we'll get this started and hopefully finished. So get more brushes. Wait for it. We'll load in. Let me know how you guys doing. Elephants. I love this thing out of the box stuff. You know, it's like, how does an elephant celebrate the holidays? Like, what does that look like? What does an elephant want for Christmas? I don't know. A longer trunk? Is that like having like bigger muscles? I don't know. I do not know. And actually, let's go ahead and see if I have a snow. Well, I'll be darned. Here's one I even made. A little snow brush. So pretty. Concept brushes as well. So I do already have some in there. Ultimately, what I did is I went out to these brushes. Kyle T. Webster's brushes. I probably pulled some down from concept brushes. You can see right in here. Some are in the concept pack, and then I made this one as well. Okay, so we have our snowfall ready to go, and we could use it. Move that off to the side. Our brush settings as well. And we're not even at that point, but since I have it up, I'm going to go ahead and use it. Let's try it, folks. Excuse me, big guy. And make sure we change the color to white or whatever color. So now we have like this nice little snowfall. We definitely want it in the globe. So we'll add some there. We'll add a new layer. We'll try this other brush. I don't know all the brushes that are what all of these do, but we're going to find out together. It's very cool though. So yes, on that note, I think the snow needs to be inside. Our snow globe. Remember, I did a bunch of crazy stuff in here. Let's, you guys are going to hate me for this, but you know what? For the sake of just simplicity, we're going to merge layers. You know what? This brings up the point. Ernesto, let me ask you a question at random. Or Cody Bear, or Daniel, or Steve. Like, I don't know. Do you need to work destructively? Like, Cody Bear is probably so good, she doesn't ever need to undo. She never even uses the undo button. She never uses undo because she's that good. So you only need to work non-destructively if you mess up. But if you don't mess up like Cody Bear, you don't need it. I'm talking trash, but I think it's just fun to talk trash sometimes. Let's drag that up there. Not quite, Paul. Let's take this. Let's select it. There we go. It's all inside now. We have our snow. When you're as good as Cody Bear, you don't need to work non-destructively. You just do it. It's done. It's a piece of cake. All right. Let's get some more elements just for fun. Let's get down here. GNOME. I want like a whole gnome with a house, a little hat, like very Christmassy. Totally like this type of stuff, but a realistic version. So that's what I'm thinking. Hello, Nora. How you doing? Cody Bear's always looking destructively. And there's a lot that needs to be said. I think illustrators, I've heard an illustrator many years ago, his name is drawing a blank and I feel bad, but talks about pencil mileage. So yes, sometimes he would just redraw everything, like over and over. And he built up pencil mileage. He just got better and better each time he redid something. So no, he's not pulling from faces or hands out of files. He's just redrawing them each and every time. And he would just get better and better at it, which I just thought that was really cool. Did I get this or not? All right. Ernesto. Yeah, I mentioned Ernesto too. You have makes tons of copies of your layers. Not that good. Hey man, neither am I. And we probably work the same because you notice so right over here in my layers panel, there's all these right down here. Look at how many copies are here. Cause yeah, I'm, am I afraid of commitment? Is that it? Is that why I like working non-destructively and have all these copies? Is it something in us, buddy? Is it us? So anyways, but I love these. Oh, this is a good little creature too. It's just going to be a lot of fun playing with them. I love that I love that you just see the nose and not the eyes. Let's do a gnome. Let's try a gnome house too. Maybe this little guy. Sure, why not? We'll try elf. Ugh, sorry about that. I gotta hurry up. I got too much to do. Such is life. So much to do, so little time. I just love these little gnome. Oh, I love this guy. I think another lesson would be to take something that is made with, like, say, ceramic or plastic, and how to make it look realistic. Honestly, I would go out and start finding real elements of that particular object, like real. Just start pasting in real faces. GNOME house. We just need something magical. Ooh, a mushroom house is great. I just gotta get some images in there, because I'm realizing I only have like 10 minutes left, and there's still a lot to do, but we're still well on our way, which is great. Oh, this one's great. This one's great. I like this one. I think this one might work, because we have some sky in the background that we could work with. Gnome dome homes. I'm just going nuts here. Just going nuts. Oh, that one has that depth of field. It might not work. Nope. Ah, sure, why not? All right. Oh, even this guy. Okay, last one. And what we need is we need some, we need like sort of a Santa character, a child, something like that. We need an element outside of this as well, like a kid that discovers maybe a gnome trapped in here, and it's like, oh no, maybe the presents aren't going to be delivered because the gnome, isn't at the workshop or something like that. I don't know. Work with me here, people. All right, here's all these. This is great. Sometimes when I have a lot of images like this, and even some duplicates, let's just make some decisions. Oh, kind of like, I like the attitude going on here. We'll drop this guy in. You kind of picking up on the attitude. He's just like chilling. Let's get rid of the snow, right? So there's that vibe. Let's grab this one. Something like that. Go big or go gnome. I love it. Ah, so much needs to happen here. Let's add a... Ugh. Why's my brush not sticking? Oops. Trying out some of these concept brushes. Let's go to the ones that I usually use. Maybe this one. Anyways, so parts of this just needs to be like erased. Give me a good brush. right? Like that. There we go. Just something kind of like that. It's in the snow. That's one problem we have. We have the problem with the contents. We have the problem of whether there's snow inside of it or not. Right? We actually have a summer scene. Is this still working? I still think it is. Let's take this guy. He should be easy to extract. So, yeah. For the sake of time, we'll just jump in. We will use our object selection tools. All right, it's analyzing the image. Hopefully everything pops up and works just fine. Daniel, you're killing it. Daniel with the comedy. It's just pure comedy, buddy. Pure comedy. I'm all about it. Clever. Not just a name, also an attitude. But yes. Today's stream brought to you by gnomes because we're a little short on time. I love it. Okay, if you do a Command J, so when you select something, this will be important to some people. If you do a Command J, when you have a selection, it's going to cut out whatever you had. If you don't want that, because I don't actually want that, I want to have that selection. If I can go back. I have this selection, and then drag it down to the new layer icon at the bottom. Therefore, it will duplicate the layer, but will not cut out the elements that you have selected. And then I'll add the layer mask. So that's what I want. Jumping in here, let's move that on down. Here's our little guy hanging out. And let's play with this. B for brush. Oh, my brushes are not sticking. It's like if I hit B, it actually doesn't keep it selected. Nope, that doesn't work. Because it gets awfully dark right down there. So, that's a problem. So let's fix it. Hurry up, Paul. Hurry. There's no time. Get that hard round brush. Bring that in. Rasterize this layer. That's right. That's what I said. Rasterize. There's no time to do things correctly. We're trying to get things done. Let's take this. Ugh. Hurry, Paul. Hurry. Hurry. Command T. Hold on the shift key. I didn't say it was going to be pretty, but we're getting it done. There we go. That is fine. And then right in here, we would change this sign as well. So let's just do that really fast. Down in my last couple of minutes. Oh, shoot. Is this type small enough? What do you think? Is it? Maybe a little. You got it. Turn off this stuff. Get in. Get it, Paul. Get it done. Boom. Sample the color. Go to make sure you're on the correct layer. Fill it with the foreground color. There, that works. Boom. Bring it back. Bring it back. Change the color. We don't want to pick a color at random. We want to be like pretty consistent with it. We need to be this a sans serif, so times. There's probably more fun fonts out there that I could totally use. But you get the idea. There's no time. We must help him save Christmas. The sign is too small. That's okay. So is he. He's just a little guy. Help, man. I'm trapped in the snow globe. And Santa needs me. I'm the only one that knows how to put together the iPhones. Oh, brother. So again, we can, whatever, move that around or whatever. And let's bring our reindeer back. He's like, what the heck is going on? But I appreciate you guys. Merry Christmas to you, Marsha. And I appreciate you guys. Enough time for 2 new projects and go. But I would have this like reindeer, like something outside of it, just kind of sniffing. So give me more time to work on this. It does need to be bigger, but hopefully you'll learn how to kind of change things from summer to winter and just have a fun, I guess, magical scene. As you can tell, stick around. T White's up next. I'll spend a little more quality time with this, just so you know, get it to where we like it, and just look for it on Instagram. So thank you, James, Biola, Clever, and everyone. Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful holiday. Let's keep in touch via the social medias and stuff, shall we? Yeah, let's keep the conversation going. Stick around for Terry White. I'm going to be watching it as well, kind of creeping on Adobe Live, where you get to ask Terry anything. It's like, Terry, how did you get so amazing? That's my big question for the guys. So thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.